I am Carol, the owner and creator that you find at CarolJo's, which is where community and creativity come together for the jewelry and accessory making world. I just trying to figure out why. Hold on, I'm trying to get you guys even. Sorry, you guys are gonna get my fingers for a little bit. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to get both TikTok and YouTube almost similar here. There we go. So we have lots tonight to talk about. I'll explain what we do here in just a moment, and then after that, I am going to start our night. But I got to get our backup account up so I can see comments from TikTok. I do not have a backup account of YouTube, so I won't be able to see comments there. There we go. Got the backup account going, so that's a good thing. Hi, Kelly. How are you doing? Hi, Geraldine. So here we do lots of different things. Twice a week we do a chat where you guys get to ask any type of question that you want about jewelry making or running a small business. We also share tips and tricks about jewelry making so that it's a place where we can all learn from. We also have tutorials where I'll show you step by step different things. That is what tonight is. It's going to be called Cabochon tutorial, but there's a reason why it was very generic, and I'll explain that. Ooh, that stinks, Kelly. I'm glad you're doing better. Hi, Cece. We also do live events throughout the week, and that is where you can claim items that you've seen us use in the tutorials, and that way you can go ahead and get that so you can create for your own, or it could be other items that you can use to create with. Now I'm going to spend a little bit, sorry you guys, my hair is driving me nuts and I can't use my arm 100% yet. I am. Woohoo! I'm glad you got them, Geraldine. That's an exciting day. So what we're going to do is we are going to use a cabochon setting, it's called. This is a cabochon setting, the silver part, and there's the back of it. And you see how we've got like a bevel to it? I'm going to bring that up close both to TikTok and to YouTube there. What we used in this example is just using a picture. And what I mean by a picture, I'm going to show you one here. These are 25 millimeter circles on picture paper. I went ahead and had them printed at one of either, like, you can get them done at Walmart, Sam's Club, if you have a photo at your Sam's Club, or any local photography processing place in your area. These are what are called a 1-inch bottle cap. So what I want to talk about is how you can find those. So we're going to talk a little bit before I get in and show you how we create these using that, or you can do it with cardstock. And so we've got a couple of different, I've got this one and I have this one of cardstock, and we're going to create with those also. So we're going to do a few examples. We're also going to share some tips that I learned as I was doing this process. So in the past, just to let you know, I always took my piece here, I glued it to a piece of cabochon glass, and then I glued it into my setting. And a couple of weeks ago, I started like diving into the resin world, and when we were on one of our chat times, I was playing around, or no, it was last week when we were doing what's on your table tutorial that I started using the resin. And it just made me think, I want to try doing these with resin instead of the glass cabochon. And I do have to say, this is my personal preference, and so you guys can each have your own opinion on it. I like this better. It just sits in there nicer. I just like it. Because what would happen is if I used the cardstock or the photo, I had to be very careful about the products that I used on the picture, and that included gluing it into the cabochon setting and gluing it to the glass. Because what would happen is that sometimes whatever adhesive you're using can bleed. And what I mean by that is on a photo, it'll just blur all your colors together, and it can come from the back or the front. On cardstock, if you didn't cover the entire thing, both front and back, with whatever your adhesive was, you would be able to see it because your cardstock turned different colors. And it didn't matter what kind of cardstock I used, I just kept seeing that all the time. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I found one item that would work for both and didn't give me the blurring of the colors or that you could see it, that type of thing. And I'll share it with you. That was Diamond Glaze is the name of the product. And so I would use that to glue them on. But every time I went to do it, I just had to pray that it was going to work because it didn't always work. So then when we started playing around with the resin, I'm like, I want to try the resin. I am not an expert at resin at all. And I forgot to tell you guys, we already have our shares. If we can get to 10,000 likes, we will do giveaways. I forgot to tell you guys that. But when I was doing the resin, I learned some things. And so I'm going to share some of the things that I learned. Okay. You need to be consistent when you're applying it. You can add more to it and that's fine. But what happened here, you can tell I didn't get it applied correctly and it's coming out over the top. That sucked. I put too much in, but I didn't have enough to begin with. So you got to find that sweet spot and know what you're looking for when you're putting the resin in there. That's one thing I learned. Another thing I learned is this, and I don't know if you guys can see it right here. I got a bubble in my resin. And what I learned is you need to just take your time when you're doing the resin before you start curing it. I have a little tool in the kit that I got that has this little poke. And I could literally, in that area, if I just poked it in there, my bubble went away. And so once I did that, it was fine, but I missed one. And so this one has a little bubble right there. Hi, Gladys. Okay, we might try that tonight. I have the little torch, not a big one, just my little one that I use. I'll go grab that here too while we're doing it. And then this one, he, for some reason, right in the center has a bubble, and I did not see that one. This one didn't look like or appear like it had any bubbles in it, but he did. Okay, I'm going to go grab my little one so that we can torch them. We'll try that. So let me go grab that tool before we begin here. It's just in another spot here. All right. I just have this one, so we're going to use him. We'll try it. All right. So those are some of the things that I learned about the resin that I wanted to share with you guys. I've never done that. What does that do? So Expressing My Heart says, does anyone use alcohol spray to spritz it a little? What does that do? Because we're all learning here together. I am just starting to dabble into this. So now, while she's answering that, I'm going to show you. You can use any style of cabochon tray that you want. Oh, it's used for the bubbles. It pops the bubbles. Well, I might have to try that one. I don't have alcohol right here. Okay, so we have here, I have a pendant setting that I'm going to only on the top. Okay. This is what I am using for a 25 millimeter. that equals 1 inch. So these here, these photos, you can put into this size. Or if you have cardstock, you can use the 1 inch hole punch. So I'm going to let you guys know, I am not going to be having up for claim the hole punches. I won't have the resin up for claim. I will show you what I use, and I will talk about where I found these. I went out and looked. So we've got some more ideas for you, okay? Okay, thank you, Nordic Luna, for letting me know. I was like, where is she? She's had problems. Poor pumpkin. Ashley can't get in. She had problems earlier. So if you want to punch it, you will use this punch to punch these out. You use the punch to do the cardstock. If you're very talented, you can do the, cut it out with like a sharp, sharp, whatever it is that you would use. I am not a good draw the straight line. Give me a circle and I'm even worse. So I use punches, just to let you know. That's what I do. Okay. So Kelly has in here, always add resin from the metal and let it level itself out. And don't push it outwards. Thank you for that advice. So you can get these punches in different sizes and shapes. So, if you had a teardrop shape or an oval shape or any of those, you can find those style of punches. You just have to get out and go, I'm going to say the word Google. You can Google it and find them. That type of thing. You can use a Cricut if you have one. I have a Cricut, but I just dislike my Cricut. I'm not a big fan of it. I have a hard time always cutting things where I want it to cut at. But you can use that too. So we're giving ideas. So Cece gave us the idea about the Cricut. So those are ways that you can cut them out, because you're going to have to cut out whatever you're using. I have one, but it should be simpler than it is. Yep, you can do die cuts. I actually have the die cuts. I didn't even think about using the die cuts for here. I have die cuts for when I was cutting out the faux leather. So that's what I have always used on these. Okay. Now, we had a discussion last night about trademark, licensed, copyrighted items. You're going to see tonight that I have photos that are not part of all of that. So, these are just unicorns. So I would actually make a necklace out of these. I would use this and put it on a chain, put it on a necklace for a 7 to, depending on what it was, a 7 to 12-year-old. Hi, Lulu. And so, like, even for, sometimes the guys would like one. You have boys that want to wear a necklace. We had sports. The baseball and the basketball were extremely popular. And then I also have football right here, a football one. Extremely popular. So, you put dried flowers. See, I'm not there yet. I am not there yet. I tried with some of the Goldstone in blue and the chips, and it's okay. I'm just not 100% there. I got to keep practicing at this. And I love that you guys are sharing ideas, because that helps us out. Hi, Bloom. And so to get these, that was a question when I pulled this out because I wanted to get something out of this container. I don't remember what it was last week. And everybody was asking me, where do I get these? How do you get them? That type of thing. And I talked about, I actually go to, and I'm going to say it, I'm probably going to get yanked about it, but I've never seen them here on TikTok at all. I honestly have not. If I saw them, I would be like, here, go here. But I have always just gone to Etsy. And there are a lot of individuals who create, and they are called bottle cap images. So just put that out there. You can actually put it in your browser too if you would like, and see where you can find them. Sometimes they are zero cost, and sometimes it might be $1 or $2 to get the images. I always did most of the time. Every once in a while I didn't. Like this here, I had them mail this one to me. The person that designed it printed it out and sent it to me because it's a larger. These here are 4x6, your standard picture. Yep, you can create them in Canva. I am learning Canva, I will tell you that. But you can find different ways. You can also probably create them in the Cricut, because I know Cricut, you can design all kinds of things. So there's places where you can get them that if you want to create them, you can go to a place where someone else created it. This is how I think about it when you're talking about creating something. If you know that software to create it very quickly and it doesn't take you much time, do it. But if it's going to take you 2 hours to create this and you're only going to use a few of them to create a few items, is it worth the time to do that? Or is it okay to spend $2 and then pictures are like 20 cents a piece? Yes, you'll have to take time to go get them unless you have them shipped to your house. But that's where you, as the creator of everything, get to make decisions. And I want you to think about all of that as you're doing it. Because what I don't want to have happen is if you're trying to create this and it's not your forte, that you get mad at creating something and you just give up. Find an easier way to get this if that's what frustrates you. And it's okay that frustrates you. We all have things that we're better at than someone else. Yep. So, yep, you can go to Walgreens, you can go to Walmart, you can go to Sam's Club. We have 2 places locally here that do development of pictures. So, yep, and any place that you go. The one thing, if it is no cost, hold on just a second, honey, is that you have to be careful. If you are using that image, like these here, if they have it for a no cost, they probably say you can't resale. I know I'm not supposed to say that word there, but I'm going to. What that means is that you can't use that image to profit off of. It goes back to some of those things that we talked about last night about copyright, licensing, and trademarks, okay? Hold on. Buttercup has a question for me.
Was it good today?
Okay. We talked about what you have to work on, right?
Uh-huh.
Are you going to work on that, or are you just going to slough me off?
Work on it.
Okay. If you do it and you sloughed me off, the next time you're not going to get something, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. You can get one.
Can't come in here when you're doing this?
Well, the thing is that you can't come in and like start something like you did earlier today, because that caused me angst, okay? Thank you. So what I want to say is read what they disclose on anything that you're doing. Even on some of the sites that I would look at and look when I would go here, oh, I said the S word, they would disclose that. And so you need to look for that kind of stuff if you are going to profit off of these. Oh, that is cute.
I got my favorite one second. I got
Yeah.
it twice in a row.
So this is what she got, you guys.
It's a favorite character twice in a row. It says its name, but I can't show that.
Yep. We had a discussion about that.
Yesterday.
Yep. And you can ask them and let them know, and they will tell you what you can and cannot do with it. And that's just one thing that we need to be respectful, because we got to be respectful of somebody who created it. Just like if someone would come in and see some of your work and use it in a way that you were just like, that wasn't what you were thinking, that's what I would say. Oh, she loves her. That is her favorite character from there. And so literally that's what I just wanted to really spend a little bit of time talking about while we're doing this. If you used the cardstock, that's not an issue. It's when you're getting into using these images that you have that. Oh Lord, I just have to say, some of the questions that AI comes up with that we're supposed to ask when we're live to help flow conversation just crack me up. The one over on YouTube just asked, do plants have feelings? I'm like, what does that have to do with jewelry making? Sorry. Ouch, that hurt. So that's what a lot of what I really wanted to talk about before we got started in on this. The process to do these is very simple. Let me tell you, even though it's simple, there is a lot of areas where things can potentially not turn out the way you wanted it. But the thing that I'm learning with resin is just keep practicing. You're going to have items that just don't turn out, and that's okay because we're learning. If you think about it, you never did everything 100% right when you were in school. Same things are going to happen here. But we just need to take some time. We need to, as a community, share tips and tricks with each other so that we can all learn and grow from this. That's what I want to say about that, okay? So I am, now that I got done with my whole spiel thing in the beginning, I am going to point you all down to the table so that you guys can see how I end up cutting these out and how I adhere them to the setting and then doing the resin. Because I still adhere to the setting, even though I have the resin over the top. I just want it to be in that place and not move around. I know that sounds silly. You guys can tell me I am overdoing it if you want. That's just something that I thought I wanted to do. So here we go. I'm going to put y'all down. And my tablecloths are old, and I got new ones. I just haven't put them on yet. So they are yucky sometimes in certain spots. We have a little bit of stains. But that's called crafting world. Yep, we don't want to give up. That's exactly right. Expressing my heart. I love it. Don't give up. We just have to share with each other. Okay. So for the first one, I'm going to look and see some of our paper. So when you look at this paper, I want to just take a moment. Do you see how you have these corners that are decorated? You could actually just grab that corner and cut that out. You probably wouldn't use any of the rest, but it's something that you could use. When you're choosing paper, you want something with a very small area for the design or a small design. You could cut this out and use this if you would like. You know, here, there's lots of different things that you could cut out in here. And so that's what you just want to look for when you're looking for these papers. And so like here we have the mermaid tails, you know, that type of thing. And even here, this one has 4 different designs. You could grab parts of each one to do something with. So that's just one book. Then this book here has different types of paper and different prints. So it's in color order here, but you see you have all different kinds of things. And one thing I wanted to show here, if I can find it, we did where we were doing, this one here is the green. So this is the pink one, but you can choose, do I want a big one or do I want some small ones of this paisley print? So you can find a spot in here and just cut out that spot that you found. If it's a spot that's up in here, you do have to cut down part of the paper so that you can get the punch in there. So you get to do whatever your heart desires. And like here, I'll show you. You can see it on the other side. When I used this one before for one of the necklaces I've made, you can't see right away unless I move it, but I cut out this word. If I flip it over, the word was smile. Right there's the word smile, and I cut that out. So you can look at these small words, and if it fits in whatever size punch you want, you can punch that out. So you just got to look at the paper and find what you like. You know, like here you could do the ampersand sign. So there's lots of different things that you could do. This print here, I'm going to show it to you guys. It actually hurts my eyes. So I wouldn't do one with that. It looks kind of cool, but when you look at it, it hurts the eyes. And what is that? That's that one. I'm trying to find one that I like. I'm just going to flip through it until I find one I'm like, yep, that's the one. And what I have is I have a 25 millimeter size setting, and I also have 12 millimeters. Maybe I want to do the word smile in a different color. I want this green is one of the colors for this next year, or for the 2026 spring and summer. And right there is the word smile. So I turn my punch upside down and move my little thing up so that when I go to cut it, I got to put it in there the right way here. See, and when I do this, I'm going to come in from this way probably. There we go. Ooh, let's see if I can get this. I'm going to get the words if I do this. I got to do it just so. Right there. Okay. We got the word smile, happy, and joy. All on that one. Woohoo! But I had to come in from the side. I could have cut it and done it, but I could do it from the side too. So you got to figure out how to get in there and do that. So that's one of the 25 millimeter. Let me see what I can find in here. There is some metallics in here. And you can do them with, if you did the metallic, let me see. Will the 12 work for this one? You got to turn it this way. Nope, that one's going to need a 15, and I don't have a 15 punch. I was like, what if I would make a dangle with one of the unicorns? But they need a 15. And I have 15 millimeter of the settings, but I just don't have the punch for it. I wonder, ooh, hold on. I wonder what these shell ones will look like in here. That's too small. I don't like that. I wonder what this will look like. Nope, I don't like that either. Okay, I don't see anything I like in there. Let me go to this book and see what I can find. I have another book. Hold on. I have more paper in here. Let's see what we can find. I have two more of the paper books. Let's see what we can find in here. Ooh, look at these clouds. Let's see what that would look like with the 12 millimeter. You just got to get it the right way, everybody. I keep putting it in the wrong way. Nope. I am not liking that look. Those are too big. I'm not a fan of stripes. Okay. I'm going to do the star. Now I can do two of those and have a pair of earrings, or I could do one and it creates a dangle. I have another star right here. think I'm going to go down to the next sheet and do it at the exact same spot so that they look identical. There we go. There we go. They are identical. Ha ha. So I just used a different sheet. Let's see. Now, when you do, I want to show you something with the bottle cap. Hold on. You can get sheets created that are 12 millimeter or 10 millimeter. These are 10 millimeter size. So you could create earrings out of these or a dangle. Okay? So I want you to know when you go to search for them, there are different sizes, so you do need to do that. Oh, I have floral, Cece. Don't you worry. I'm going to do a floral. All right, let me put these away, and then let me grab these. All right, I'm going to do one of these here. I just got to figure out which one do I want to do. I think I want the one with the heart, the pink heart. So when you're doing these, look at this. See, sometimes when you do this, you're not going to get the full image because you have this white border. I just grab a pair of scissors, cut off some of the white border, but be careful to not cut your images. Throw that in your garbage. Grab your punch and then cut away. But you got to look at this before you press down, because this white, if you don't get it in the right spot, you will cut white off into what you're going to make for your jewelry, and you don't want that. So you got to just get these in there just right so that you don't get any white, but you get the full image. And there we go. And here is our unicorn one. Okay, now we talked about the florals. We have lots of florals. We have this entire page of florals. The one that I did, this one right here, I'm going to show you. This is, do you see where there's a little bit of white here, right there? I'm going to show you over on YouTube, right there. That meant I didn't line it up right. And it didn't come out right. That's what I was talking about, making sure you line it up. So this one here is actually, was the picture that was right there. So this is where we use that one. And I'm going to see what we have. Those are more like paisley prints is all of that one. So we can grab a floral here. And like here is even like lacy floral. So we have lots of different ideas you can do with this. So I think I want to do the lacy floral since we didn't have, I don't know. I'm not loving any of these right this minute. Let me see here. I'm liking this one for spring. So we're going to try, we're going to have to cut off just part of the side here so that we can get in and get our punch in there. There we go. Make sure that lines up. Just take your time. There we go. And then punch it. And it'll come flying at you. So just take your time when you're dealing with trying to punch those out. Don't get in a hurry or else it doesn't turn out. All right. Let me put the punches away and the prints away so they're off of the table so we have a clear area. Now, what I use for the resin, the thing is that you can't see where you are looking if I turn it upside down, and I have not mastered putting the punch on there and pushing down on it. I have not mastered that. So you just need to find out what works for you. Yep, upside down. Like here, I'll show you what I'm thinking is if I did it like this way and got it, I can't hold it steady when I push down. I move the picture every time. But it's a good idea. I've tried it. I just suck at it. So if you guys can master it, go for it. All right. So here is the UV resin that I use. I've tried like the parts where you mix it and then you cure it, you know, type thing. You let it sit for a day, that type of thing. I stink at those. So when someone suggested this one, I took it and I actually like it better. Everybody has their own preference on resin that they like. This is called Han Caring UV resin. So just let you see it. So that's what I am going to use. Now, I know this is probably a step that not everybody does. Okay, I'll have to try that one. I got to write that down so I don't forget it. Hold on. Let me find a piece of paper that I can write on. I think I can write on that one. All that Glitter Labs resin. So, okay. Whoops, I forgot the word labs. I will look for it. And that's the thing is that I'm just still learning. So please understand. Okay, we have the 3 for the necklaces and then the one that I want to make into an earring. I literally just take E6000, see, E6000, and I just put a thin all the way around, all over. And it's not very thick at all. I just don't want this to move while I'm trying to get resin in there and get it all situated. Very light all the way around. Like if I were doing something and gluing something in there, I would put more in there. This is just a holder, but I want it all the way around so that it's equal. And something's not bigger than another. And this didn't get up in there. There we go. All right. Put my lid back on that. I want my stars to be identical, so I'm going to put those in there here. I'm going to do it this way. There is a little dot that was on there, and I just want my dots to be on the same side of the on there. So that is what I'm using to help line it up, is that dot. I couldn't get it out, so it'll be there, but you're not going to really see it. So here, I'm going to show you with these two when I put them in there, what it looks like. See how they're pretty much the same. That I am a very symmetrical girl, and I'm going to be okay with this one. There we go. But like I could hold it up. If I didn't have the glue on there, I don't know that I could hold it up or it would fall out. Now here with our words, we got to make sure our words are going the same way as the top so that we can read it when we are wearing it. So we're going to put that one in there with our words the right way, not upside down or sideways. Just put that in there. So there it is with smile, joy, and happy. Our flowers, we just want in there so that they look like flowers in like a bouquet or something. So that one you can move around a little bit, but down at the bottom here, it's a little bit more white. So I want that down at the bottom. So we're going to put that in that way. Because you do have to look at your picture as how you're going to put these in there. So there's that one. And now the fun one. Our unicorn. We want the unicorn to go in there so that it is sitting in there like you would want it to be looking straight down. So here we have the unicorn. I don't have it like cockeyed in there or anything. And I want to push it down in there. I haven't pushed it down in. There. Yep, and that's the reason you want to pay attention to it. Nordic Luna has it in there. She lost pendants because she wasn't paying attention to the direction of the pieces. So you want to always, and sometimes you guys can laugh at my OCD. When I've created these before, I will line up all my pendants so that they're all the same way when I'm doing stuff. I didn't do that here, but I literally will do that a majority of the time. Yep, and that's the thing is that the one thing that I've learned with jewelry, just because you made it today doesn't mean that you're not going to make a mistake tomorrow. And that's where we just need to take the time to have patience and take the time to do it correctly. Because yes, everything has a cost to it, and you don't want to waste your resources, you know, your settings. I'm going to grab my little mat. I'm going to put these on the mat. There's a reason why I'm putting them on the mat now. I don't want to, after I have the resin in there, put them on the mat. Yep, don't zone out. Just stay focused. Even though you know it, you want to stay focused. Now, the UV resin kit that I got came with a little light for the UV light. So that's what I use. You don't always have to purchase the light, you know, like Geraldine was like, oh, I got to get mine out. My sister does the gel nails, and it takes a UV night light to cure those. So she will, you know, she could use her own. So depending on what you have, you might just have to buy the resin if you already have a UV light. I didn't. So my kit came with this with a few of the silicone-like tools. I don't know if it's silicone or what it is, but that. And it had like pouring cups and that type of thing. I use the pouring cups if I'm going to mix color with my resin. I don't do it for here. I just pour onto here. The tools. Yep, these tools. They came in the kit. All right. Now I'm going to do what you guys said, because I wasn't always doing it in the metal and letting it, oh, if it's not big, you can use flashlights. I never thought about that. I am going to start in the middle that you guys said and let it work itself out. So I'm going to pour a little bit in there and just wait and see itself leveling out and see if I need to add more. Just the one thing that I've learned is that you need to just give this time. The one thing with this mat, it folds up, so there's little parts where it might not level out the best because it's got an uphill or downhill battle going on because it was folded. I just need to add a little bit more. I can see it's starting to go together. And I don't know how else, I don't have a camera right on it, but you can watch. You will see where the resin is going and where it needs to be added while you're waiting for it to self-level. And that worked. Now, I'm going to view this from a side angle. This is one of the things I learned earlier, is that you can see if it's going to be in there, and you've got enough in there to be level, but don't go over. Oh no, Lulu. Hopefully it's not internet issues again. And I'm just going to do this with each one of these, pouring a little bit in and letting it self-level itself out. And I just am sitting here. Uh-oh. I wonder if it's a TikTok thing, because I'm not buffering on my side. And my backup account isn't on the same internet. Excuse me. I need to add just a little bit more to this one. I can tell already. There we go. This is what I learned. Just take a moment to put that in there. So go in the center, because I'm listening to you guys. Pour it in there. Let it self-level itself out and just take a moment. I could probably do it in 2 or 3 at the same time, but I'm still learning this. I want to take my time. A little bit more over here. There we go. You can see if they're going to dome up when you're doing this too. And I'm going to move these off of, there's a bump right there in my mat. So I'm going to move these down a little bit, or maybe I'm going to move them over here. The reason why, I want them to all go underneath the light together. This isn't going to take that much. I'm going to do these two at the same time and let them level out. This one needs just a titch more, not very much. There we go. Got it. All right. Yep. Ooh. And I have some glitter downstairs. Maybe I'll have to play around with that off of the live. Now, you guys talked about using the torch. Do you just do it over the top? You don't turn it like this and do it, right? You just do like this. Let me know if that's the right way. So Kelly's saying, now hit it with the torch, but I want to make sure I'm going to do the torch right if I just do it this way. Either way works. Okay. I just don't want to burn it. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's what I was doing, was not the flame part. All right. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. Hopefully it's not on the bend here. Now, this has 3 settings, and I learned when I was practicing, I put this over all of my items, hit it for the 150 seconds, and let it go. Thank you, Kelly. And we're just going to let it cure. And this is where we go. We only need 1K more, everybody, on the likes, and we'll do the giveaway. So Lori's asking, Nordic Luna, just a little dash of extra fine glitter on the top of resin, not on the picture, right? And Nordic Luna said you could do either. So to me, it sounds like, I know this is going to sound really odd because it's hard to use your items if it isn't going to be a finished product. But with the resin, what I'm finding out is that you just need to play around with it to get what you're looking for. And so it's okay if it doesn't work. Hi, Tuesday. So, and I figured out I have to do this curing with how much we have in there. We have to do it twice. And then we have to do it for the 150 seconds. And then we had to do it for, this one's 60 seconds, right? Yeah, 60 seconds. That's where it wasn't sticky anymore. So it will be a moment. And we got to that, so. Yep, and that's the thing. I am excited that we're all sharing our tips here today, because I will tell you, I am not an expert at this. I am learning. And that's what, if we can all learn together, that's what makes us all grow. And that just reminded me, I know we need to do our 10K giveaway, is that we'll do that in a moment here. There will be a resin tutorial type. I call them tutorials, but they call them, Zuli calls them workshops. Next week, I'm going to do this one more time. Starting on Monday, January 5th, we will have on 5 different individuals' TikToks, a place where you can learn different techniques. Monday at 6 p.m. on Eagle Design by Sour Rose, which is Vicky. There you go. So then I'm just gonna say, Nordic Luna said, using a silicone mat or parchment paper in my case, you can do it both ways with a dot of UV. But we will be doing different workshops, and on Monday at 6 p.m. on Vicky's, she is going to be doing a resin tutorial. That I love that. That's what, okay, I'm going to talk about what you're saying here, Nordic Luna. Every week or every day that next week, people are doing different things. So if you guys can follow Zuli, Z-U-L-Y, and Bella, which is B-E-L-L-A, Boutique, she has the master schedule. It will actually be done on each individual's TikToks. It won't be done on Zuli's, but she's got who's doing it what day, so that you can follow those individuals, so that you can be notified when they go live and you can watch them with what they're creating. It's not all just resin. So, Zuli's doing one with a pendant the faux suede that we just had up here recently. And I'll be doing a leather button necklace, and I can't remember what the other two are doing. You made it, Ashley. It's Z-U-L-Y-B-E-L-L and then Boutique. So, but what Nordic Luna was talking about, how to not waste your settings to do this, take parchment paper or this silicone mat and do your design on it in a little place with like doing glitters with the resin, so that you can see what you like. Thank you, Nordic Luna, for it. Nordic Luna did the @ so if you guys want to follow her, she will have that for you. I'm going to do one more here. You follow Zuli? Yep. And so she is actually created the master schedule already. So if you go out to her profile, you'll find the video with what everybody is doing. She is then also creating videos with our supply lists and a picture of what we're going to do. I don't know if it linked it either. Let me see on here. Oop, I'm like @ing you. Nope, I cannot get it, but you can put, there you get it. Yep, Izzy B is on, and then Stacy Ann is doing another one. So there will be 5 of us doing those next week, and Zuli wants to try to do those so that we can learn from different people on different things to do it, because we all do different things. And it gives you a place to go and see. All right, there we go. Here we are, everybody. I'm gonna show you this one. There's our smile. I'm gonna bring us up. And we're gonna do our 10K giveaway. We are almost at 20K. So here we go. There's the smile. Yep. And that is what I love about it too. And there isn't any bubbles. Thank you for letting me know how to not do bubbles. So that's that one. All I need to do is add a chain. If I have a necklace that I can add it to without, we don't have to add the clasp, but if we did chain, you can add the clasp to it. Then here's this one. I love these floral ones. They are just so bright. Here is for those littles. They can have their own necklace. And then here is, whoops, don't get on there. I will just add the earring. I would, you know, I do fishhook earrings a lot. Ooh, let me see if you guys can see. Do you guys see? Yep, you can see that shine that you're getting off of that star because it was a, the paper had that metallic in it. So, yep, so that is very simple to create and very simple to finish too. That is why I was so excited about doing this. I wanted to try it and I didn't know if I was going to do glass over the top or the resin, but playing around with the resin. Okay, thank you, Nordic Luna. She said if it's still a little tacky, an alcohol wipe will fix it. Just rub it with the alcohol wipe. Okay, that darn TikTok. I'm going to double check and see if I also have an update. Here we go, everybody. We are going to do a color. And the one thing that I will say too, as I'm picking out a color and getting this straight from coming up, ooh, we haven't done this color in a while. All right, there's a color, everybody. You will find this as available for replay. I do have to do a setting switch on it. And once I do that, then you will be able to see that replay out on the tube of what we did tonight. So I just want everybody to know. The name on the tube is exactly like it is here on TikTok, CarolJo's LLC. Thanks for all the tips, everybody. I thoroughly enjoyed tonight because everybody helped everybody. And that's what I love. And I'm excited. I don't know if Buttercup will like this or not, but because she's getting on the too old for some of this. But I'm going to have to see. That is just, I love this. Sorry, I just love it, that unicorn in there with the hearts for Valentine's Day. It's not tacky. All right, I'm going to give you guys a clue. It's in, and I always have a hard time of which family this fits into more. It can be like a pink or a purple hue. This color is. And you see it a lot in the florals. It's not one of these though, but you see it in florals. And it was like an 80s color. I think it was 80s. Oh, nobody's gonna get it. It was mauve. You guys can tell me, what do you guys think? Mauve, is it pink or purple? Because it's like, it goes one way or another. I will put an easy color in here so you guys can get this. Let's do this one. All right, easy color, everybody. Go for it. All right, let's see who got it. Miss Paige, you are the winner. You're going to get 5 creative credits towards your list. There was others after her, but Paige was first. We are 2K away from another one. I do have to do my wrap up, so hopefully you guys can get enough in there so I can do it again. Just to let you know, what we are going to do, you're very welcome, Paige. We will have at 2 o'clock Central Time tomorrow an encore of the Cabochon settings. I believe, but don't quote me, there are 16 different settings that I still have available. I have a 10mm round. We have 12mm rounds. Some of them are connectors, some are not. Some are just like pendant style. We have teardrops. We have a rectangle. So we have, and square. I think we have a square. Don't quote me. Oval. So we have different shapes and different sizes. What I did is I just grabbed all of the settings, and those will be available. So if you saw what you have tonight, go ahead, and if you want to try it, go ahead and join us at 2 o'clock tomorrow so that you can do those. Then tomorrow night at 8 p.m., we will have our nighttime chat. Or if you guys have questions about things, or you want to share some more about what we have on resin, that type of thing, bring that stuff to tomorrow night so that we can all share it with everybody. Thursday at 2 p.m., we will be doing another tutorial. And that tutorial is going to be taking those tube bales that we've had where there was a tube and then it had a little circle off of it. Okay, we'll give that away here in just a second. And we are going to create pendants for those. Then Friday at 2 p.m., we're going to have an encore event, and I'm going to find all the two bales that we can. I will be bringing the wheel beads that we had, those wheel rondelles that you guys asked me to break like in half. So instead of a full strand, it'll be a half strand available. We did that with, I've got one of the gorgonia, or two colors of gorgonias done, and I need to do it to the other gorgonias and get those ready. But we'll have lower, like a half a strand instead of full strand available of all of those. Then Friday night at 7 p.m., Jiminy, that's a little late, Gladys. On Friday night, we will be doing the silicone event that will have all of the Valentine prints for the 15 millimeters, if whatever I can find for hearts on acrylics, and it will be the focals. And I'm going to bring, it's going to be a lot of new stuff, but I'm also going to go through everything and find everything that I can that has Valentine theme to it and bring that. Okay. And then Saturday will be our bead event. All right, here we go with the color, everybody. There we go. Go ahead and put colors in the chat for our 20K giveaway. Thank you for letting me talk a lot so that we could get there. I wanted to do it. Oh no, it will be as soon as we get off, I will switch it from private to public on the tube, and then it just takes a little bit of time for it to put it out there, and then you guys will be able to watch the replay. You're welcome. It was to me, it was a fun night of everybody sharing information. And some of the information, someone might have thought it's just that's just an easy thing, but any little tip and tricks to help us is what we love. This is a bird. The color is a bird. And somebody got it. Let's see who it was. Cece, you got canary. That was the color. So you will get 5 creative credits towards your list. So congratulations. Woohoo. Thank you for staying on for a few minutes so we could do another giveaway tonight. I appreciate it. I hope you guys learned a little bit tonight, and let me know if you ever try resin and how it went. Because guess what? I tried it to begin with and I was an epic fail, and I didn't go back to it. And then someone told me about this UV resin, and I was like, okay, I tried it and I seriously could not get it to work. I just need to play around. And that's what I think we all just need to take that time and go, it's okay to play around with it. So you're welcome. I appreciate you guys all, Lori. I mean, if you guys aren't here, this wouldn't be fun. I really appreciate you guys coming in and we all working together. It makes this a community. It's not about me. And that's what I love. So you all have a good rest of your night. I will be back on at 2 p.m. tomorrow with our encore for Cabochon settings. So we'll see you then, everybody. Bye.